And Ellie seems to be having a hard time stopping right now.
Hi, guys.
Today, we are going to be talking about I Fell in Love with Hope by Lan Crowley. And this is going to have spoilers in it, so if you have not read the book yet, then maybe skip this episode until you've read it, but you need to read it because it's really good, so you can come back once you have. Well, let's just start with talking about some of the characters. Who was your favorite character?
Neo.
I
loved Neo. Oh my god. He got introduced and I fell in love with him instantly. I was like, this child. So
yeah, I really liked Neo too. I'd say that Sunny was probably my favorite. Is it Sunny or Sonny?
I pronounce it Sonny when I read it.
Sonny sounds better. Let's go with Sonny. But I really liked Sonny. I liked the way that her character was like introduced, how they met. I thought was really sweet.
Yes,
like
just her kicking the vending machine out of ink. It was so hilarious.
Yeah, and
I mean, relatable. I mean, when you need a chocolate bar in the middle of the night, I mean, I would kick the vending machine too.
So with C, he was neither of our favorites. Do you have anything you'd like to say about him?
Oh my gosh. See, but he has a special place in my heart though, because I'm a swimmer and he was a swimmer, and I just like imagine myself in his shoes. Like, I cannot imagine swimming and then like not like finding out I can't swim anymore because I had a heart condition or something. It broke my heart. I was like, oh, yeah, that was unfortunate.
Oh, okay. I know that we already talked about Neo a little bit, but his parents. Let's just go back to that for a second.
Oh.
That was a lot. When he died and his father got rid of all of his, like, stuff.
That made me so mad. I was so mad. I was like, you have no right to get rid of your kid's stuff. Or, like, him just getting mad at his kid for, like, reading. Like, most parents want their kids to read. And here he's like, oh, you need to be a man and not read. Like,
yeah.
Sir.
He did not pass the vibe check.
Like, no, he did not. Every time, like, it'd be, like, a flashback of Neo's, like, childhood. Or, like, when him and Sam met, my heart would break every time. Genuinely. Yeah, and I'm sorry, it just keeps going back to the fact that he full on, like, destroyed this dude's, was it a it wasn't a biography. It was his, like, story that he was writing.
Yeah, it was his story.
C.
And he just, the fact that he was so ready to just destroy that when he just lost his kid, like, with no hesitation, that just really got to me, because I'm like, wow, that's
a weird way to cope, bro.
Yeah, it was just so crazy to me. I didn't even really know how to react to that, you know?
No. And then his mom, I don't know, like, because I can't remember fully, like, his mom gave Sam and Hikari his box of stuff, didn't she?
Some of it.
That's right, because that was so spin and sadness. Anyways.
Oh yeah, you need the spinning chair taken away from you.
No, don't take it away from me.
But yeah, I think the whole idea of just the fact that we get introduced to all of these characters, and you get to a certain part of the book where you're like so attached to all of them, and you're like, there's no way that they can kill everybody, and then they kill everybody.
Yeah, that's how it was. I was like, oh, if they I'm like, I can handle like being like one of them dying, but all three of them just being taken out. I wait, and like one after the other. Like, Sonny dies in the most tragic way. Like, that's like the most painful way possible. Like, literally, so she was like having trouble breathing, and then they rush her back to the hospital, and she just dies.
Yeah.
And then C died. Like, I don't know, he went to heart surgery and then he died, and I was so, oh my god, I think I almost cried reading that, and I don't cry when reading books, and that almost made me cry. It was so upsetting. And then Neo, I don't know what happened with Neo. Neo just like died. I don't remember when he died. I think he was like, because I knew he had an eating disorder, and I think like he stopped eating or something like that. He just like let himself die.
Yeah, he had to have a procedure, but he wasn't strong enough for it.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. It's been like a month since I read the book.
Yeah, I finished it quite a while after she did. Just kind of sad considering we started at the same time, but yeah.
I was determined to finish that book. I was like, I gotta get this done.
Okay, so I've read up on the author a little bit and wanted to talk about her a little bit.
Yes, oh my gosh.
Okay, so you're in college.
I am in college.
I'm not in college, but she is, and I want you to just think about the fact that this is her debut novel that she wrote while she was in college.
Oh,
she had everything that you have going on, and she's found time to write a whole book.
And meanwhile, I'm trying to write a book currently, and I am struggling to find time to write because I'm so busy. I'm like, how did Lankali? I don't even know how
I
you
always
say
said
it.
Lankali.
I don't even know how you pronounce her name. I've pronounced it Lankali the whole time I've followed her. But like, she had everything going. She has like I'm sitting here like with mountains of homework all the time, and I'm like, how do you find the time to write? And I'm like, determination, I guess, which time management.
For sure. And that's like, I just pulled up her profile on Goodreads. She wrote this book just over a year ago and already has 12,610 ratings. So she's a college student. It's her debut novel.
But also I remember because I followed her for her anime content, because that's how I found her. It's through like anime content and stuff like that. And then I found out she was writing this book, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to read it. And I didn't read it until like a year after she like had wrote it already and published it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it is so good. And I think she's like in the process of writing another book.
That's what I heard. Oh, I'm losing my voice a little bit. Oh no. Okay.
And she's in the process of writing another book, and I'm like, love her, love that for her.
Okay, so I have. Okay, hold on. I was looking at the reviews, and she wrote a review on her own book. It doesn't have a rating, but it has a review. She said, I wrote this book. It's okay, I guess. Hope you like it. That sounds like something you would write on, like,
that would be something I would write. That would be something I would write.
Okay, so now we are going to... Okay, let's read some 1-star reviews, because we both rated it 5 stars. Oh, yeah. Which I very rarely rate things 5 stars. It tugged
at my heartstrings, and it was like, and the fact it almost brought me to tears. And as I said, I don't cry when reading books very often. I don't know why. I just don't. Like, I'll get close, but I never actually cry. And I literally almost cried reading this book.
Yeah, she was sitting on my bed, and I watched her start like tearing up, like she was about to start crying. It was crazy.
I was going through it.
Okay, so MK's review. They said, I am not a hater, nor am I a fan of the author. I actually have no idea who they are. I'm just here to say how I felt about a book I had heard a lot about and was pretty excited to read. Okay, that's paragraph 1. It's quite a
How many paragraphs are there?
Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9.
That's like a whole novel.
Yeah. So, very strong feelings. Let's see how this person's strong feelings relate to ours. Boy, oh boy, was this book not my cup of tea at all. From prose to plot, it showed the author's inexperience. Self-published books written by young people can be very good. I've read many, but this one had all the hallmarks of what makes people skeptical of reading self-published stories. Poor editing, flimsy plot, and weak writing. I think the author has the bones here and clearly has narrative ability, but this was a weak novel.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like to enjoy this book, you have to be able to see all of the symbolism in it.
Yes.
If you can't see all the symbolism, it does seem like a very random piece of work, you know?
I thought the writing was really poetic. Like, because I have my personal Instagram account. I do some book reviews, and one of the points I made was how poetic the writing was. So I was sitting there, I'm like, this is beautiful. Like, I wish I could write like this.
Yeah.
Like, none of my writing could ever sound like this. This is like the standard. This is like what I want to write like, but I don't think I could ever reach this level of artisticness and like poeticness. I don't even know if those are words, but you get what I'm saying.
This next paragraph, though.
Oh, you're not done?
No, there's more.
Oh, no!
I'm stopping in between paragraphs so we can talk about it a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're doing.
Okay. I Fell in Love with Hope is a young adult, found family contemporary novel that reads like a Pinterest board of those excerpts from a novel I'll never write prose. Inspirational images all strung together to form a semi-cohesive story. While it's clear the author has a lot of passion and poured their heart into it, on a craft basis, it's not where it needs to be. It could have used more editing, or, as Stephen King says, time to marinate. There's pieces there.
Oh my word.
There's pieces there that have the potential to be really good, but they were all bogged down to purpose prose that obscured what was being talked about to the point it was confusing. I'd have to disagree with
it.
That.
Was, like, confusing, but, like, in a good way. Because, like, the whole thing with Sam, trying to figure out what was going on with Sam, like, I wonder if that's what they're referencing, but, like, it was, like, confusing on purpose. Like, you're trying to, like, it's literally, you're trying to figure out what Sam is, and because Sam is what's the word? Like, is inconspicuous character? Is that the right word?
That sounds right.
That's the word we're using.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, he's a mysterious narrator. Let's say that. Like, he is literally the narrator of the story. And he's, like, not necessarily... Like, he's the main character, but he's not the main character. Like, the main character is technically Hikari. I mean, you know, because Sam is, like, the embodiment of hope. And we find that out at, like, the end of the novel. Like, literally, the title is I Fell in Love with Hope.
He's not... Or... Okay, I thought that Sam was a girl for a long time. And then Ellie was like, no, Sam's a boy.
No, Sam's androgynous.
I know. But
the only reason I know that is because there's a creator, I don't remember the name, that's making a webtoon of I Fell in Love with Hope. That's like partners Longcully, and Longcully posted on her Instagram like the character sheets for it, and that's how I know Sam's androgynous. And that's my introduction. That was my introduction to I Fell in Love with Hope. Is I started reading the webtoon that hasn't been updated in a while, but it's okay. And I was like, ooh, I gotta get the book and read this, because I don't think I could wait for webtoon updates. Like, this book is I need to read it, and I got it, and I was like, ooh, this book hurts.
Oh no. Okay, this one's gonna make you a little bit mad.
Oh no.
Normally, I don't mind or critique prose at all when reading stuff, but as a contemporary novel where nothing really happens, the book relied heavily on it to provide interest. Because, on a plot basis, without the John Green-esque poetic musings of the characters or the extremely metaphorical descriptions, the story isn't particularly intriguing. Oh, Ellie's leaving.
I'm so done. Bro. I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, okay.
Is that all they wrote, or did they write more?
No, there's more.
Oh my god.
We're about halfway through.
Oh, we're halfway through!
This next paragraph's kind of long. There was something else about the prose that kept annoying me, and I couldn't figure out what. When I realized it's also quotable, now that I know the author runs a TikTok account, it all makes sense. Every line felt like it was meant to be put in a quote video, or whatever. Everything was Everything was wrapped in so many layers of metaphor, it was impossible to parse. I don't know if I said that word right. There also weren't many service sentences. Everything felt like it was meant to be a gut punch to the point where nothing felt like one. Okay.
Interesting opinion.
Very much. I find this to be a particularly young/immature way of writing, in an attempt to make everything meaningful. Meaning is erased because they don't know how to properly utilize poetic writing. For example, and this is a quote from the book, "The last time I was on the bridge, the stars fell, I say." We'll stop there for a second.
The stars fell, you mean? The stars?
What'd I say?
You said the stars?
Okay, I meant the stars. Which...
Because the stars, as in, like, the snow.
I think the stars are referring to other Sam.
Other Sam, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he fell, but also, like, it was snowing, and that's kind of like, I don't know, I took it as, like, the snow is falling, which I like how I like how it can be I like poetic writing, because it can be interpreted almost how you want it to be interpreted however you want it. It can be interpreted in multiple ways.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with how you're interpreting it, because the big plot of, like, Sam and Sam in their relationship was the stars. You know, they were always like pointing out constellations together, things like that. And so it's like the stars fell. She lost that. Yeah. You know?
Oh yeah, because when Hikari was mentioned, he mentioned like. Oh, maybe I think it's something else. Hold on, because I know he mentioned like yellow eyes a lot. Mm-hmm. Like Sam had like the yellow eyes. I think I don't know. I can't remember. He mentioned like or he referred to them like suns or something, like something that had to do with suns.
Yeah.
At some point
about how Hikari has suns for eyes or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It always makes me wonder if like Hikari isn't like a reincarnation of Sam.
That was kind of like the feeling that I got throughout the book. Almost like that's what they were trying to make you think.
Yeah, because we don't know how long ago other Sam was around. Like when he died.
Yeah,
I don't know that.
I imagine that it was a while ago, but it's never like or confirmed, you know?
Yeah, because Sam is literally like in the hospital, like literally is part of the hospital. And so he's been there for years and years and years. He's seen all sorts of things. Who knows how many other, like, I don't know if, like, other Sam was his first love. Or if he's fallen for, like, another. That's, like, if he's fallen for another, and Sam is, like, there's another who he's lost.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like after Sam, there was no one else until
Hikari. Which I'm wondering if it's not,
I just said Hikari.
If it's not, like, a reincarnation of other Sam.
Yeah.
OG Sam. That's...
Oh, yeah. OG Sam.
I imagine loving someone so much, you, like, steal their name, basically. You just call, like, that would get so confusing. Like, Sam and Sam.
Sam and Sam.
Is there more?
Oh, yeah. So this is going off of the line that I just said. I'll go ahead and repeat it. The last time I was on that bridge, the stars fell, I say. Okay, and so now we're back to his review. Like... This line is interesting. On its own, it could stand pretty well. I believe, when used intentionally, hyper-poetic prose can really work. But when the entire page reads like this and the description of the event is also described like this, the already obscured meaning loses what it brings to the table because it's literal description. It's not... What? I don't feel like it's literal description. I might be misunderstanding what this person is writing.
I don't know what they're saying.
Yeah,
I'm confused.
Let's just skip that one. I think what they're pretty much saying is that the book has a nice, like, poetic feeling to it, but that the whole book is poetic, so it defeats the, like, feeling of poetic-y, you know? Mm-hmm. Okay. Going on. Allow me to explain. Okay, we needed an explanation, so this works. It's literal because their words describe the event like it's written. Metaphor stops reading like metaphor if it's reflecting back on a similar metaphor. If that makes sense. Hold on, I'll just keep reading. Okay. If the event in reference were described more jarringly/simply, this would work, and vice versa. But because both sections are hyper-poetic, it's confusing. It reads like someone dumped a thesaurus on the page, and it veered away from unique and starts turning the prose more and more purple. And then in all caps, especially because everyone talks like this. Literally everyone. Always. All the time.
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, that was very passionate. Okay. So... We both popped our finger at the same time, and it was very loud in my ear.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no. Okay. So what they're kind of saying is that, from what I understand, they're saying, when Sam dies the first time, okay, it's described as the stars falling, and then when it's described later, they describe it the same way, so therefore it doesn't have as much impact. That's kind of how I understood it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I kind of disagree with, like, what they're saying. Because, like, literally, I don't know how it doesn't have that much impact. Because, I don't know, bro.
It definitely held a lot of impact over me, so...
It did for me, too, because I'm like, let's keep bringing up your dead lover. Let's just keep tugging on those heartstrings.
No. Okay, we have two more... They're both really small paragraphs, and then we have an edit that we're going to come back to.
Oh, we have an edit!
Yeah, it's just a paragraph. It's just a paragraph. It's not super long. Okay. Perfect. That being said,
Part 2 to the novel of
Oh, yeah.
1-star review.
This is a very passionate review. And then it does have a few comments that I think are really good. So I might go through a couple of those before we move on to your review, if that's cool with you. Okay, so the rest of his review. That being said, I think the author has a lot of good kernels. They clearly know how to craft... Oh my gosh, I cannot talk. They clearly know how to craft a nice sentence. I'm confident that, with time, they will learn when and how to use those for impactful prose. I'm interested to see how the author grows, but as it stands, I Fell in Love with Hope is not a strong story. Okay, when they end something like that, I can have a lot of respect for that, because not every book that you love is going to be someone else's favorite book.
No, and it is her favorite book, but also, I don't know. It's her favorite book, so don't get too mad about it sounding, like, immature, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, literally, it's her first book, and I think she's been right. I think it's a book she's been working on for, like, years and years and years, like, maybe before she was in college. So...
Yeah. So, I heavily disagree with this review, but I can respect this
like,
person's
I understand
opinion.
your opinion, but also...
Yeah.
Your opinion is interesting, I think. I don't know.
What Ellie's trying to say is that this opinion is wrong.
It's wrong, but it's not wrong. You can have your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
Because I love this book, and, bro, my heartstrings were tugged constantly.
I think this next one's gonna get to you.
Oh, no.
Edit. And this is a very short paragraph, don't worry.
Okay.
Other reviews have discussed the harmful portrayal of mental illness and such, and I completely agree. I didn't mention it in my review because it was a whole other can of worms to get into, but it's not good and frankly harmful. I don't think any of the portrayals in this book were harmful, and I don't really...
They weren't. Like, literally, it was just, like, Hikari's whole, like, self-harm thing, and then Neo's eating disorder.
Yeah, those
That
were
was
really the only two things discussed.
And, like, maybe, like, a little depression.
Yeah,
like,
but both of those are...
trauma and whatnot, maybe.
Yeah, it's not like they gave everybody something
And
just
then, like,
because they wanted
and
to.
then gave, like, a bunch of, like harmful stereotypes. It was more of just, like, oh... It was, like, so, like, it took me forever to realize that Hikari was, like, self-harming, or had.
Yeah, I thought that...
It took me forever to realize that. I was like...
Yeah, I thought she had, like, a...
Like, what's she here for?
I thought it was, like, a blood
That's what I thought. I thought it was a blood-related
something.
disease. And then it was
Yeah.
like, oh, no, she's in the hospital because she's harming herself.
Yeah, and then with Neo, I think his, like, mental illness portrayal makes complete sense. I mean, he doesn't want to leave the hospital and have to go back with his parents.
No, he literally, his eating disorder is about control. He wants control in his life that his dad won't give him.
Which is something that happens in real life. That's how things work.
And...
Or that's how people... Not how things
It's
work.
just like he's trying to have control of something in his life, and that's like the only thing he can have control of, he feels like.
Yeah.
And his dad tries taking it from him, but it's like, you gotta, like... You gotta eat, bro, but also... I'm sorry?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I don't know what to say to it.
Okay.
So sad.
I'm going to read this one response that was going... It was like a... From the opposite side of the opinion, or whatever. So this... Their username is IEK. The author actually wrote this book after going through a similar set of events, and I personally think this book was beautifully written. She's not just a TikToker who wrote a book meant only to sound good. She wrote it so one can feel the despair and hope of the people living in the book. Not everyone would like it, but one should at least... I'm so sorry, this is hard to read. Not everyone would like it, but one should at least give it a try and not leave it just because of someone's comment who didn't like. Yeah. Who knows, maybe you'd love the book and cherish it with all your heart. Who knows, maybe you'll not like the book because of all its quotiness, but at least give it a try. And then, like, as a little edit, they added, just so you know, I don't personally know the author or anything. I came across this book at a book fair and decided to read it without reading the reviews, and it stole my heart from the very first page. Yeah. I think that's a very good thing to
the book is
do.
basically, like, it's based off an experience she went through. Because she, like, in her, like, the end word, she mentioned how, I think she had, like, a friend or, like, a lover or something. I can't remember who he was to her exactly. But something that she lost that she was close to. Because because it's kind of, like, it's she has a chronic illness herself, and it's like she doesn't make it a big part of her identity because she doesn't want to be associated with it a whole lot, but she does have like a chronic illness, and she's mentioned it before on her page, and that's kind of, this is like kind of like what she experienced, but also like a whole different story in itself.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Just to be like, oh well, the cloyiness is terrible, or like, oh, the portrayal of mental illness is really bad, like,
but that's
that
based off something that
she went through personally.
Like, yeah. Anyway, that's all I have for that review. So if you want to go ahead and read the one that you found.
Ooh,
is this another 1 star?
Oh yes. Oh, it's a little long, but it's not as long as the 9 paragraphs. There's even a little GIF in it.
Oh, fun.
Justice for Neo and Cure. See? Let's say C.
Wait, is it a
Cure.
German name?
It's a French name.
French name. Okay, I was about to say.
He speaks
no
French.
German. I don't remember. It's
speaks
been a
French.
second, okay?
His name means heart in French.
Oh.
Isn't that so?
Oh no.
You're like, I was so soon. I'm like, isn't that art? And you're like,
oh.
I love that. Okay.
Okay.
The frick? First of all, there is so much wrong with this book. I don't even know what to say. Actually, I do know, LOL. But the fact is, I rarely ever give 1-star ratings / reviews. But this book was painfully so absurd. I don't even know what that ending was. If it was supposed to bring me to tears, all it made me go was, this is the GIF. What the fuck is going on? Like, seriously, please, crying emoji. There's emojis in this. Oh my
Oh,
word.
love that.
Do we want to? Oh, there's multiple. Oh, there's points.
What do you mean point?
Have like points.
Oh, first, second, third, fourth,
And
last.
lastly.
Okay.
Do we want to discuss this first paragraph?
Let's not. Let's just do the point one.
Okay, first.
First.
This is all beautiful writing with no substance. Honestly, I love beautiful writing, and I more than admit that. But only if if it has something else going for it. Characters, romance, development, amazing plot twists, anything but this.
Wow, you scared me a little bit with that anything.
It's in all caps.
Okay.
It was nothing but depression all the way through. And not gonna lie, I went in expecting that, but what I wasn't expecting was how mind-numbing it was gonna be. Every line was just so quotable for no reason, and it was so annoying because no teenager speaks like that. Let's discuss.
Wow, people really don't like her writing.
God,
is what I'm kind of
in
picking
tears
up
from
on.
laugh. I was laughing. I'm in tears from laughing so much. Can I read that? Oh my god. Okay, so only if it has something else going for it. Characters, romance, development, amazing plot twists. That's like all in there. That's all in the, like
that's all
romance.
there.
Like literally Neo and C, and then Hikari and Sam, and then Sam and Sam. Like literally it's literally a contemporary romance.
Yeah.
What do you mean what do you mean?
I will say, I feel like this book is very much directed towards our age group. So I wonder if the people that don't like it as much are like my mom's age. Because I had my mom read this book and she didn't get very far into it before, saying it wasn't really her thing.
I wonder, because also I think it's easier to write for like your age.
Yeah.
Because she's like early 20s. I'm like a newly adult, and you're in high school still. So obviously that's why we like it, because it's a YA.
Yeah.
I feel like. So young
definitely
adult.
YA.
So I don't expect like a 40-something-year-old to enjoy it. I mean, they could, and good for them. But you know, that might be why some people are like, oh, I don't like this writing. But also, maybe like look and see who the audience is for, like who the audience is, like who the target audience is, before you say, oh, well, the writing's terrible. You know? I mean, the writing could be bad, but like, I don't think it's bad. I think it's really good, personally.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with, like, taste. Or, like, the type of writing that you enjoy.
Because I know I'm having you read A Court of Thorns and Roses, and it took you a minute to get into it, because you don't read fantasy very much.
Yeah, I'm on Wings and Ruin right now, and it's her book. I've had it for, like, a month, and have gotten, like, 2 chapters in. I'm not even gonna lie. I really don't get me wrong, I really like the story, but big books like that just, like, scare me a little bit. I can't even help it. And maybe you can force me to read a little bit of it tonight.
I can't wait for you to get to the last book.
Yeah?
It's thick.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's like, it's a huge book. So,
okay.
Let's go to the second point, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Second, I feel so disconnected from the main character and the writing itself, to be honest. And I only ever cared about 2 of the side characters, Neo and C.
Okay.
My beloveds.
Okay.
Okay. They both deserved everything in the world, and they just needed to be happy and crying emoji, heart, bandage. I'm sad, but I also love their story so much. Okay. You're a Neo fan. I can respect that.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
Yeah, I can see why somebody that would really like those 2 characters not enjoying the book as much, but also it's a sad book.
I love those characters, and of course they're gonna die. They have honestly, I knew as soon as C was gonna die, I'm like, something's gonna happen to Neo. Like, something's gonna happen. Neo's not gonna make it.
Yeah.
C was basically Neo's reason for living at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And when he didn't have C anymore, he didn't really have a reason to live.
Why'd you say it like that?
Oh, I don't know.
What? Sorry, I dropped my pencil. Okay, keep going.
I mean, your pencil, you stole it from a friend. Okay, the third point's really short. Third, did I mention the main character has such a huge savior complex? It really made me hate her even more. Her, them, they, whatever. I think Sam is like, Sam is supposed to be, sorry. Sam's supposed to be like androgynous, but I don't know, so any pronouns, basically. So, that threw me off for a second. Anyways, okay. What savior complex are we talking about?
I think he does have
he's like a little savior complex, but also
yeah,
he's
but
like
that's
been
because
through so many people dying that he's like, what do I do?
And honestly, I don't think it's as much of a savior. I don't think it's a savior complex.
Unless he gets attached and then people die.
Yeah, it's hard for me to talk about that point because I don't feel like there is anything to talk about. I don't think he has a savior complex.
There's not much to talk about.
So I don't really know what to say about that.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Fourth, the way mental health was portrayed in this was so effing bad. It made my heart hurt. Like, one of the side characters, Neo, my beloved, heart emoji, bandage emoji. He deserved so much more. Uh-huh.
Okay, I think what a lot of these people are saying, like, with this review, it sounds like somebody's writing a 5-star review. That's where it's kind of getting me a little bit. The way that they're talking about it, for the most part, or the way that they're talking about the characters and the effect it had on them, would make you think that they're writing a 5-star review.
It almost sounds like they were just mad because Neo died.
Yeah.
That's almost what it comes off as. Like, you're just mad that your favorite character died,
also,
so you're gonna give it a 1-star review.
Also, though, if a book got you that attached to it, to where you're upset over someone dying, I feel like that's a pretty good sign that, like, the book did its job, you know?
Yeah. So maybe at least get, 3 stars.
Yeah.
Alright. Last, the ending. What WTF was that? Crying emoji. The main character, she turned out to be just in Hikari's head. That's literally one of the worst tropes ever. No one can argue. I mean, even if one of the MCs die, it's better than that. I don't know if the author meant to show how they were soulmates through every life or whatever, but making the main character become the ghost of a hospital is so not the right path. Thanks.
To be honest, I don't really know how to respond to that.
Sam's not in anyone's head. Sam just exists.
It's like you're seeing, I don't know. I think him being not a person just adds to the tragedy of it all,
Because
he's been there forever. He's seen
Sam's
so
a
many
person,
people
but
die.
he's also he's kind of like he's more of just a being. He's literally hope, the embodiment of hope.
Yeah.
It's
like
literally
the
what
old
he
man.
is.
I liked the old man in the
Oh my god, I forgot about the old man.
Yeah.
So the ending, so this is the last paragraph. I feel like this book was written just to be hyped up on Instagram and TikTok because it has gorgeous prose. Yes, it does. Did it really end up being something meaningful, like, at all? No, not in the least. No, I'd like to bleach this book from my head. Thanks.
I would like to bleach this book from my head also, because it's all I could think about for like a month after
Oh my
reading
god,
it.
I'd be at work, because I used to lifeguard, right? I'd be at work trying to, like, watch kids swim, and all I could think about was the book. And I was like, this is a problem.
Wow, these kids are about to die. Is that what you were thinking?
No, I would just be thinking about the book. I'd be sitting, like, I'd be, like, behind the counter, like, doing stuff, and I'd be thinking of the book, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm sad. It's like, I can't be sad at work.
Yeah, it
So
will
bad.
ruin your ability to save kids.
No, it won't.
Okay, let's start with Sam. We've already talked quite a bit about Sam, but let's just finish off any thoughts that we left out while talking about the reviews. We both took a deep breath there.
Sam.
I just think Sam's whole being is just so tragic. Like, he is there to provide people with hope, which is really sweet and everything, but he sees everybody that he's ever met die.
Like, let me like, because there's this quote that mentions something about hope. I'm just gonna find it real quick. Because there's this, like, quote where he talks about how, like, hope basically is like a false oh, what's the quote? Sorry, guys. Let me look. So the quote. I don't know where in the book this is at. I have pulled it up on Goodreads. Sometimes hope just isn't enough. It isn't meant to save people. Which, I think it was Sam that was the one that said that. And, yes, would you like to add something?
Sorry,
Would you like to share with the class?
no, keep going.
Oh my god. Okay. But, I think I lost my train of thought because of you.
Anyway.
We're discussing Sam and
Sam.
Okay, so him being the embodiment of hope is tragic because he's he's literally there to give people hope and to help them, but he's like, that's the quote says, sometimes hope just isn't enough. It isn't meant to save people, and he has to just watch these people have basically a false sense of hope, like literally, and then they just die.
Yeah, I think that's a lot. At what point, if you had one, did you start thinking, oh, wow, hold on, he's not a living person with a mortal thing? Because I had a particular
It
spot.
wasn't when, I think it was when he was in the operating room with C. Like, when C was going under his heart surgery, and he was, like, in the room talking to C. I was like, how is this possible?
Yeah, mine happened a little bit before that, when he was talking about the guy from the war that got his leg cut off, and he's talking about these soldiers that are awake and having their limbs removed.
I forgot about that.
That's when I was kind of like, that's not something that they would do present day. There's something else going on.
I forgot all about that scene.
Yeah.
So it was about that or like C's like surgery.
Yeah, that was another good point, because like they're not gonna let some teenager into an operating room
not
to
sterile.
watch.
But it's like I think it was more if he was there in like spirit, like in C's mind.
Yeah, and then he like has points in the book where he's talking about leaving his body to go watch other people, and he's like, I can see everything happening in the hospital. So it's very difficult to think about where he might have come from, because he wasn't, I mean, when did he show up? Stuff like that. Was he like built with the hospital? Was he like a really old patient that died? That's what I wonder. What if he's like a ghost?
Yeah, but then like the end of the book, I mentioned how he was like he appeared with the hospital because people go to the hospital and they have like, whether it's them or their like loved ones, like they have hope that they're gonna make it out of the hospital.
Yeah,
and he's the hope that everyone has when going to a hospital.
Yeah.
So he's literally just exists at the hospital.
Okay, that
Which is
yeah,
why
that
he
makes
mentions
sense.
that he can't leave the hospital. I was like, why can't you leave the hospital? It took me I was like throughout the whole book, I was like, what does Sam have? Like, what is he doing there?
Yeah, which not leaving the hospital, not being able to leave the hospital, I think is the perfect segue into the bridge.
Oh, the faded bridge. See, crap hit the fan after they left. After they walked over the bridge.
Yeah, I think the bridge is another point of symbolism because I think it represents crossing the bridge from life to death.
Ooh.
Because, I mean,
Love
if you think
that.
about it, as soon as they all three crossed that bridge, it was just one kid after another dying.
Because Sonny, she was having breathing issues. She goes to the hospital. She dies.
Yeah.
C, he goes in for his heart transplant and dies in surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And then Neo stops eating I feel like he fell in a really deep depression after C's death, and that's partly why he stopped eating. Because I know from personal experience, when I've felt had moments where I felt really down, depressed, or I've been I don't know. So I struggle with depression a little bit, and there's been moments when it's been really strong, and I'm like, I don't really want to do anything. I don't really want to eat, and I'm like, well, I probably should. It was worse for him because not really worse. Well, he just lost. I've never lost I haven't lost a loved one and someone I was romantically involved with, versus he has, and also they were friends. Bro, their whole love story is so tragic.
Yes. I think what was craziest about the bridge was the fact that Sam and
Hikari is really fine.
Yeah, they were fine because they didn't cross the bridge when they were trying to leave.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Is that initial them crossing the bridge? Because Sam was having a panic. He was basically having a panic attack because they crossed over the bridge, and he was trying to stop them, but because he was remembering when OG Sam crossed
the bridge and he died.
Yeah.
So I think the bridge in general is just an overall symbolism of death.
Mm-hmm.
And then this might be a little bit too literal, but I wonder what would happen if people that weren't in the book crossed the bridge. Do you think that random people just cross the bridge and then die?
No. I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting.
Also, that scene where they spread the ashes at the beach, it makes you wonder how far that was, if Sam could go all the way there. Do they live by a beach? It also makes you wonder where the
because they also took that trip.
Geography or
they
whatever.
took that road trip, and they were by the beach. I don't know, because they didn't make it very far before. I mean, they made it to a tattoo shop, and they were on the beach, and it wasn't long after that Sonny started having breathing issues, because she needed her oxygen.
Yeah.
And then Sonny's whole backstory, that killed me.
Oh yeah.
Because it was she felt pregnant, and I think she was really mad about it, and then she got into a car crash, and that's what happened to her lung. Her lung basically is no more after that.
Yeah.
And then she loses her mom, and then bro, Eric, I loved it. We haven't mentioned Eric at all.
I loved Eric.
His fatherly love for Sonny just hurt.
Yeah, because if you think about it, that was the only parental figure that Sonny had left.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that had a big part of it. Also, her being at the hospital all the time. I mean,
because she never
by
left.
him.
Because she didn't really leave. C would leave a little bit, and I don't think Neo would leave ever. I don't think Neo really ever left.
Well, there were parts of the book where he was gone for a little bit, not very long though.
That's right, because I think he started having wouldn't eat again, and then he had to be back to the hospital.
Yeah.
Or something. Because also I know he had scoliosis. And that's what I thought he was in the hospital for at first, and then I was like, no, he has an eating disorder.
Yeah.
He's malnourished.
Going back to what you said a few minutes ago that really pointed out to me, you were talking about how they stopped at the tattoo shop.
Mm-hmm.
The tattoos that they got.
Oh, yes.
I don't know, that whole
and then
scene
Sonny's
was just so
wings.
cute. Oh yeah, so that she could fly or that, yeah.
Oh.
that was a lot. That was
My
probably
heart's crying.
yeah, that was probably one of the lowest parts of the book. When they all got the tattoos together.
I think Sonny's death was about when I got to, like, when I was reading at your house, and I think that's about when I was about to cry.
Yeah,
Sonny died,
I wasn't
and
there yet, and I was like, why is this woman crying? She's a weirdo.
I was like, I can't tell you. Like, read the book.
Okay, I think we have time for one more point, and I have one that I was hoping to point out, unless you have something.
I don't have anything.
Okay, we have failed to talk about their hit list. Or was that what it was
Their
called?
hit list.
Yeah.
Oh.
This scene at the drugstore when they were trying to get cigarettes, I thought that was hilarious, where he's like, I don't think I can sell that to you in good conscience or whatever.
And Sonny's like, oh, but you see, you over there, he has cancer. We don't know when we're gonna, you don't know how long he has left. I was like, Sonny, you're gonna jinx him. Like, Sonny, calm down.
That scene in general, I just think it really like set the stage for like how strong their relationship really was, and the fact that they were able to manipulate to get what they wanted so
easily. To buy cigarettes because she's like 22.
Yeah.
But he's like, I don't think I could sell these to you in good conscience. It's like, she didn't really ask if you would sell. She was like,
yeah,
you gotta sell them to me.
I love how they just steal stuff that they don't even really need to steal, just because it's just.
There's also like, what money do they have? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, but even stuff just like around the hospital that they were stealing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the hit list was a really big part in the fact that it was gotten rid of after Neo died. They lost it. And how they were like writing 3 things that they were going to steal for each other. Mm-hmm. You remember that part?
For Sonny, I'll steal you a pair of wings.
She got her wings!
But then she died!
Oh no! Oh, you're horrible for that.
Oh, because she said something. I remember when she was like on her deathbed, she was said something about her wings. Like, don't.
Yeah.
Like, did my wings survive or something like that?
Yeah.
I was like, Sonny, that's not what you should be worried about.
That was really sad. Man. Okay, well, do you have any final points you want to bring up, or is that all for today?
I love how C's name literally means heart, and he has heart disease.
Oh my god.
We gotta love irony.
Yeah.
Bro.
That was really bad. That, like, really bad. Imagine if they named...
quote, like, in French, you don't say you miss them, they say that they are missing from you.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, one of my favorite quotes.
Yeah.
Because it hurts. Like, I read that, and I was like, oh.
Imagine if Sonny's name was Lung.
I hope I can't breathe. I should be joking about this.
No, probably not, but it's okay because it's funny.
And then I've seen this whole like, I don't want a new heart because it's not the one I gave you. Like, see, bro.
Okay.
You don't even need a new one. You gave it away. You weren't appreciative enough.
I wonder if that was a symbolism thing, because he started having them really bad right when he started falling for Neo. Honestly, you could make anything in that book symbolism.
Oh, and then the way he was so worried about getting a new heart.
Yeah.
It was almost like it was like a gut feeling that something was gonna go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it wasn't just like deep down he knew he wasn't gonna make it out of there, and that's why he was freaking out so bad.
Yeah.
It's like either you get the heart and you don't live, or you don't get the heart and you don't live. It was like a terrible.
Yeah, that whole situation was a lot. I will see you next week.
I will. Yep.
Probably not next week, but it's okay.
I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah.